Hello everybody, welcome to this Friday's episode of Dave in the Shed and what's going on in the shed. I thought we'd start off this week by looking at what's on the workbench. Interesting incidents this week. I've got what I believe I've got to do some fault finding DCC chips that are playing up or died, and we'll have to do some surgery next week. The donor chassis that will be my Planet, it's doing something silly. I've tried two different DCC chips in it. The chips are fine, so I'm going to have to pull out with the multimeter and work for the chassis. It may be an issue on its circuit board. I may end up actually just pulling the circuit board out and direct wiring a DCC decoder in there. It may be the best way to go. I've got a little one actually I bought for another project floating around here. Excuse the fingers, should have done the prep on this beforehand. There is a DCC coder, a small one, that is actually, I think, one of the ones that also fits in the NA class locos. So I've got a spare, and I may just, because it's a small one, it's just only a small loco, I think I'll just hardwire it in there after I've checked out the chassis with the multimeter to make sure there's no shorts and everything. It might be the easiest way around. There's no fancy wiring or lighting or anything on this loco, so it's pretty good just to whack it in, hardwire it in, and away you can go. And also, unfortunately, my favourite D3/4 has also suffered some type of electronic failure. When you put it on the track, it just makes a clicking sound through the audio circuit. I did try to reset it electronically on the programming track, but it's not taking programming, and when you try to read the programming off the circuits, it's not reading off it as well. So I may have to do a rebuild on it. Luckily I do have a couple of spare decoders, so it might be a case of rebuilding it with just a decoder directly soldered on. Once again, remove the circuit board, sacrificing unfortunately the sound on it, but get it up and running again. I did look at sourcing another sound decoder S4 chassis for this one, but yeah, it's not worth it. It's just easier just to pull out the circuit board and rebuild it. The chassis is all fine. Once again, I have to fault find with the multimeter and go through and make sure it isn't electronic fault. But yeah, it doesn't short out the DCC system, but it makes, we'll show you, it makes a clicking sound. I'll just stop the video and put it on the track, and I'll show you what's going on. So I don't know if you can hear that, but it's just making a clicking sound through the speakers. Pretty sure from what I can find out on the internet that's some terminal decoder. So we will have to replace that. Pretty easy, just pull out and put a fixed decoder in. Won't be a sound system anymore, which is sad, but we'll get it up and running. At least there's room in the cabin, in the space, to put a decoder in that one. Yeah, which is sad. But anyway, we have the technology. We can rebuild it. Okay, so this is like part 2. Let's have a look at the progress on the upgrades of what I've done. This is the new track loop. There is a little Devonport running around, a bit of a shunting service. So I've ballasted all the track, and I've started then to blend in the old track and the new track with static grass. At the moment, to me, it's freshly ballasted too clean. I've got to come back and then lay down some more muck and dirt and blend it in and make it look more like dilapidated or very life expired. Looks like it's too well maintained at the moment. But yeah, we've blended it in. Very happy with what I've done to create the grade separation. So here on the line, the War Memorial. Did a bit of terraforming around the end here. The bridge has settled in. Oh, this static grass, it's amazing and fun to play with. Oh, frames just stopped, those little fellas. I have got some circuits, which is one on the build list, to build myself some do-it-yourself keeper lives, which will be on the thing, because those little locos, Yeah, or buy chips, DCC chips with Keep Alive base, but those little locos do need a Keep Alive. None of the locos I run have got Keep Alives in them. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, Google Keep Alives, but my locos do need. Hang on, I'll give it a push. This is come on, DCC guy. If you follow stuff on YouTube, he's got some great circuits to do aftermarket DCC chips that I'll do. So this is the Swampy River area. It came up pretty good. Still, once again, I've got to come back and put more grass and more bits and pieces and to dirty it up. Quite a bit. You can see the junk on the track there because I didn't clean it too well. So I'm happy with that so far. So this is the look of the trestle. I've started to dirty stuff up and blend it in, and very pleased with that and the effect. A few bits and pieces to come back. Terraformed up where the silo will be. We'll wander around and look the other way. So this will probably be where the grain silos now go. The street track looks good. Like I said, I've got to come back and lay down some static grass like more closer to the track to make it look like it's a bit more bush type. Because to me, to my eye at the moment, it all looks a bit too clean. Oh, finger in the road. Get your finger out, Dave. Now for my static grass, to apply it, I actually use a home-built static grass applicator. It was a YouTube video or a page somewhere of how to convert one of those electronic fly swats into a static grass applicator, and lo and behold, you buy the thing cheap off eBay and ripped it apart, and I followed the instructions and it works very well. Static grass applicators can cost hundreds of dollars. But this is a cheapy one. I'll show you in a second. It's a cheapy one using instructions off the internet, and it does a very good job. My biggest hassle is when I'm applying static grass is waiting for the glue to dry. Very impatient because you've got to wait for the glue to dry, and you have to vacuum up it and start again and few later. Very important when you're using with these fine fibres. Fingers out of the road. Vacuum, vacuum, vacuum. You don't want those fibres getting into your locos or necks. How good is this grade separation? I'll show you this. Where is it? On the workbench. So workbench is the. So this is the. I'll put it on a chair. So this is the static grass applicator that designed. On the internet, you'll probably find YouTube videos of it. You build it out of the fly swat. And it works brilliant. It's fly swat and a tea strainer to give you metal. It actually works very well. I was surprised about the design, but it works. Does a good job. It's a cheap job to do. A lot of fun. Only hassle is even on my layout, that strainer, even though it's probably the smallest tea strainer I could find, is a little bit too big to get into places. But it looks good. Also brought up the street this morning, quite funnily, probably left in the house, a bag of rocks. To put a few rocks around the place. Yeah, quite funny. You go to the supermarket and buy a bag of rocks. Anyway, we'll leave that here for now this week. Hope you have a great week. Next week I'll show you more about the developments. Have a few more bits and fun. Hopefully one day this week I'll spend the day just on the bench because I've got a bit more work. Number 25 needs a bit more work to finish it. A few other things needs to be done. So have a great week. Look after yourselves. Keep safe. Once again, please like and subscribe. If you've got any questions or suggestions or anything you want to ask about what we're doing in the shed or what we're doing with the tramway, the railway, let me know. Till we meet again, keep safe, have a great week. I've been Dave in the Shed. You've been a lot of fun. Hi there, this is Dave. To keep this video active on YouTube, you really do need to subscribe my channel, like this video, and also put a comment down below, because if we don't get enough traffic, YouTube can just make it disappear. For this week, I got some couplers to adjust by the look of it. Talk to you later.